So Ethan Van Sciver has issued what is clearly a legal threat to me for printing PTP's words regarding EVS being rejected by Kickstarter. This is fascinating that of all things to set EVS off, him allegedly going to Kickstarter and being rejected by the platform is what broke him. This was his message to me.
Yeah, I hope there are no defamatory lies about me in Lazmat's new documentary. Boy, I really hope there are no defamatory, slanderous. I'm here. What I'm doing right at this moment, and send this to Lazmat, is I am denying what PTP just said. In other words, I'm letting you know on the record that that is not true at all. It's a fucking lie. And if you use it, knowing now what I just said, it is defamation. That is a lie. I never went to Kickstarter. If I had gone to Kickstarter, I would have and not told my fans. I would consider that a betrayal of my fans. I did not do that. So if you publish anything that PTP is saying there about Kickstarter, it is defamatory. You are knowingly publishing lies. If you do that, you should reject PTP's conspiracy theories. He does not have evidence of this because no evidence exists because it just isn't true.
Lord Raptor Jesus, Vicky First, and a lot of others on X have already given their thoughts on EVS's attempt at intimidation through the legal system on me. I figured since I was specifically targeted here, then it should be upon me to issue a formal response. So I have two responses to this. One is the TLDR version, too long didn't read, and the other is a more concise response. If your time is too precious to entertain this high school girl drama by grown men, then the TLDR response follows. And what is my TLDR response to Ethan's threat of a lawsuit against me?
You serious?
Yeah, utterly ridiculous because it wouldn't go past a hearing if at that, and we'll discuss why. First, Ethan has already given his public response to PTP's claim about the Kickstarter rejection. I've shown it here, and should it ever get to a documentary with further information, I will show it there along with Ethan's response, where he categorically denies it. And not only that, but if PTP were to give any receipts, well, Ethan has already given me his blessings to show it.
Make him show the evidence.
Or if he has receipts, let's see the receipts.
Yeah.
For any of that. For
it's real simple.
Anything in that. So I'm just saying, I would consider that to be defamatory. I would consider that to be at the point where it's no longer fun. You're objectively spreading lies.
So Ethan has given me the okay to show any receipts. Not that I needed his permission, but he said he's fine with it. However, he runs into a problem here. You see, he said publishing PTP's words that he considers lies is defamatory. But then, is this following clip you also, Ethan?
Your friend Matt Barr just issued me a copyright strike for... and by the way, he's also been mass flagging my channel with privacy complaints, which is really strange. He finds incidents where I say that he has a head wound. And... or I say he acts like he has a head wound. And according to PTP, his Matt Barr's wife told PTP, and this is just, this is factual. I'm not making this up. According to PTP, Matt Barr's wife said that that Matt Barr has some kind of brain injury that makes him act a little bit nutty. And she wanted him to come home or something like that. I mean, that's according to PTP. I don't know if it's true or not.
Now, before I respond, as a general rule, I don't condone flagging, mass flagging, etc. I'm also not in Matt Barr's shoes, and his name has been dragged in the mud with countless threats of assault and private information about him being leaked. He is doing what he thinks is best for himself. Whatever your opinion of that is your opinion, just like it's my opinion. At the end of the day, none of us are in Matt Barr's shoes. That being said, it's interesting Ethan said he doesn't know if it's true or not, but he still put it out there. You still use PTP's words on Matt Barr. You didn't seem to have a problem quoting PTP there when it comes to your enemies. It's factual that PTP used those words, Ethan said. Just like it was factual that PTP said you submitted your campaign to Kickstarter and you got rejected. And we have your official denial of that. So good luck with an attempt at a lawsuit there, pal. Shall we go over all the times EVS that you yourself may have committed possible defamation? By your words, being called a scam artist is defamation, but yet you referred to the Wheelers on various occasions as scammers, including one time in 2019 where you described an app Mindy Wheeler was developing as a scam app. How about when you accused Eric July of charity fraud, despite the fact that the charity had to come out with a public statement confirming 100% of any of the money Ripper made on their books for the charity went back to the charity? Eric might have a clear case of defamation there. Or when you accused Doug Snaple of leaving Comicsgate because he took the money and ran, despite him going on record stating why he left CG and it had nothing to do with what you stated.
The CEO of Comicsgate, Ethan Van Sciver, has called me a homophobe and a transphobe. That is an anti-Christian organization. He is anti-Christian for using those words. Someone pulled the string in the back of his head and he aped the words. And this is an anti-Christian organization. They largely target Christians who are making comics. That's what gets them off. And then, like true SJWs, they point all of their dumb followers to brigade and fire hose on Mike Miller, Edwin Boyett, myself, Tim Lim, Bean from Pa, you name it. If they're a Christian, they're going to get whacked by Comicsgate.
According to Doug Snaple EVS, you lied about him. Not to mention that you publicly tied Phil Diaz to the release, or rather the discovery, of Manny Summers' photos from her Cam Girl website days, despite it being public knowledge that it was DA talks of DNB investigations after being given some leads that showed the photos. But you still tied Phil Diaz to those, and we have provable receipts that show those accusations cost him his job. We have provable damage there. Oh, I also didn't go into the countless times you used racist slurs on black folks. One notorious example was what you said about commentator Mr. Berger, calling him a Schwarzer.
Worse than getting $20 super chats from Schwarzes, like Mr. Berger here.
Your pattern of defamation on others is quite clear, going back to almost 2 years of Trashcast, where you laid out a bunch of defamatory statements on Eric July, on John Dillard over his payment arrangement with Flash, and we have you on record calling John's Longbox a pedo. So many countless examples of your defamatory actions that can easily be used against you to show what a hypocrite you are, and how any defamation case you bring will be laughed out of a courtroom hearing upon discovery. Also, New Jersey, where Ethan hails out of, is an anti-SLAPP state. What is anti-SLAPP, you ask? Anti-SLAPP laws are meant to provide a remedy to SLAPP suits. Anti-SLAPP laws are intended to prevent people from using courts and potential threats of a lawsuit to intimidate people who are exercising their First Amendment rights. In terms of reporting, news organizations and individual journalists can use anti-SLAPP statutes to protect themselves from the financial threat of a groundless defamation case brought by a subject of an enterprise or an investigative story. In New Jersey, this law is known as the Uniform Public Expression Protection Act. This law provides a mechanism for quickly dismissing lawsuits intended to silence or intimidate individuals for exercising their free speech rights on matters of public concern. It allows defendants to seek early dismissal of SLAPP lawsuits and potentially recover legal fees and costs if the suit is deemed meritless, according to Lieberman, Bletcher, and Cullen and Dyckman, LLP. So in other words, case dismissed before you even file one.
And I'm putting you on notice that that is untrue, okay? If he has receipts, he needs to show you receipts, or you are knowingly publishing lies, and that is illegal. That is that is actionable. That's what we call in the legal business actionable. And so you should just heads up about that, Lazmat. You know, I don't want to own your duck character.
Don't worry, you won't. And he's not the D word. He's a B citizen, you freaking racist.